Hello everyone and welcome to the RhinoArchSchool Introduction to Sub-D Materials. Sub-D is a way to create more organic forms in Rhino, similar to programs such as Blender. You're probably more familiar with surfaces and polysurfaces because these are the default methods used in Rhino. Here we have a polysurface sphere, and this is created with the NURB system, which uses mathematical lines and geometry to create the sphere. So there is no single flat face, it is a mathematically accurate sphere. This is what Rhino normally uses. And then we have a sphere made out of mesh, and this is composed out of a series of flat faces, which creates a sphere, but if you look closely, it is made out of flat surfaces. And then you have Sub-D. We can press tab to switch between views, and you can see that Sub-D creates the geometry out of flat surfaces, but uses subdivisions, which is then interpreted differently when you switch the view. So you can see the sphere is created out of these flat surfaces or flat subdivisions, and then when you switch the view, it shows it in the organic form. So keep in mind you use tab to switch the Sub-D display from smooth to flat. First we'll create a Sub-D plane, so we go to Sub-D tools on the top, and we'll create Sub-D plane. You see we have X and Y count, so we want to set our X count to 2 and our Y count to 2. And now we create our flat surface. So you can see we have our X and Y dimensions. That has created 2 subdivisions, so you have 1, 2, and then 1, 2 on both X and Y planes. The shape is subdivided into 4. So now we will create a 3D box. The same thing using a X, Y, Z count of 2. As you see in our flat view, it has divided the box into our X, Y, Z counts. Then when we switch to the smooth view, you can see how it alters the shape into a more organic shape. So with Sub-D, the more subdivisions you have within your shape, the more detailed it will be. I will show you what I mean here. So this square has a Sub-D of 2. So if you want to do more organic, free-flowing model making, you would want to have less subdivisions. But I will show you and so you can understand this. So let's create a new box. With a higher Sub-D count. So we'll change our X, Y, and Z to all have 10. So you can see we have our box here with a subdivision count of 2 per axis, and this one is 10. So we see when we switch between the flatted and the rounded view, the object with more detail holds its shape more than the object with less detail. So the less detail means more smoothing of the box. So for conceptual model making, you would want to have less Sub-D counts, and for more higher detailed models, you want to have more Sub-D counts. So using this box as our example, a very useful tool is Shift plus Control, click, then you can highlight separate faces of the box. And this way, you can use our gumball tool, make sure it's activated, and you can stretch and manipulate different faces of the box. You can see in our smooth view how this works. So we're just moving the face around, and it's distorting our box. Then when we switch back into our smooth view, you can see how it has the organic shape. A very useful tool in gumball is when extruding. You can right click here and align it to object, and this way you will extrude on the axis of the object, not the world. So these can be used for different things, but for now we'll keep it aligned to the C plane. So you can see we're extruding on the XYZ axis. We can also extrude a face using gumball. If you see below the arrow there is a circle. If you click this, you can then extrude the faces. This is an extruded face. Then we'll simply use the Move tool. You can see how it differs. By using the Move tool, it moves the surrounding subdivisions. By extruding, it is more extruding just the single object. So here, you can see the difference between moving and extruding the faces. This can also be done on the curves as well. By holding Shift and Control, then click, you can extrude and move the curves. You can select multiple curves at the same time. Then if we go back into our flattened view, you can see how that manipulated the shape. That is a very simple introduction into sub-D tools. In the next episode, we will go into the more useful features of this and how this can be applied to modeling. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.